Okay, welcome to another video breakdown. Today we're going to talk about this one trait that successful entrepreneurs all have, and that trait is simplicity. They've mastered it to a T, and they just focus on a couple things in life to make them happy. So if you want to, copy that for your own life as well, then watch this video because it's going to be value packed. So let's stop recording the last one. All right, let's start with business because this is what you follow me for, right? One offer, one niche, 1 to 2 marketing platforms, 1 communication channel, and 1 place to store ideas is all you need to run a 6 to 7 figure business, online business, okay? You've been tricked into thinking that it's very complicated, that has to be so overloaded with different funnels, different marketing sequences, email drip campaigns, SMS chat bots, and it's just not it just doesn't scale. So you want to take things back to basics and think about what's your one offer, what are you helping people with, what niche are you in, pick one, commit to it. What are the 1 to 2 max, I say 2 maximum marketing platforms that you're focusing on? Is it Instagram and Twitter? Is it Twitter and Facebook? Is it YouTube and whatever you choose to do? Focus on those, get really good at marketing yourself, learn the algorithm for these, and you'll succeed. 1 place to store ideas. Well, let me backtrack. 1 communication channel. So Slack is a great way to communicate with clients and other people. The reason why I say 1 communication channel is, I don't know if you've been in this situation, but have you had like clients or team members hit you up at 11 p.m. Asking for something when that's the time you're trying to sleep? It's happened to me before. So dedicate 1 communication channel for team members and clients, and that won't be happening ever again. 1 place to store ideas. So that's why I've been using Airtable for the longest time now. 99% of the time I'm using Airtable to write down content ideas, and sometimes I'll use notes as well if the idea comes very suddenly, and then I'll put that into Airtable later. So you will see throughout this video that the favorite number is the number 1. Again, I want to reverse some brainwashing that's been done on you as an entrepreneur in this space. Listen, if all you had was 1 hour every day to work on your business, all you need to do is book calls, close calls, and serve clients, and repeat that process day in, day out. If you aren't focusing on booking calls, booking appointments, closing these calls, like getting better at sales and helping the clients that you're helping already, getting them the results they ask for, then you're wasting your time. Use simple language when writing, copy, or speaking. So again, simplicity comes down to the way you're messaging or you're marketing yourself online. You want to make it so simple that the information you put out there, even a 5-year-old or a 2-year-old can understand it. Again, as I said, you've just been tricked, following these influencers into thinking that you need all these complicated funnels and tools to build a 6 to 7 figure business, when it's just not true. You just need really, really good, solid principles and tactics that you live. Okay, not tactics. Tactics have a time and place, but principles that get you to where you are right now, to where you want to be. And I'm sure where you want to be is wealthy and have a successful coaching business. I almost like to think of my business as a pipe. So at the top, I'm trying to fill the pipe with water, and then that water is going to come down, and I just have to manage that water. So manage the pipe. So the water being, new leads, new prospects. I fill the pipe with that through content, and then manage it at the bottom through like DMing, sending them onto appointments, and etc. And as I said earlier, the complicated funnels thing, it only works, you can move on to that, add a bit of complexity if you've scaled 1 marketing platform to the moon. And this is what our program focuses on exactly. So just simplicity, just trimming the fat, and just reducing the headache on your end, on your team members' end, just having less stress, and that all comes down to better decision making. Okay, and decision making is extremely important. So that's what our program focuses on. Now let's move on to relationships, because it's not all about business. We have to look at things holistically. Relationships, so little story time. I unfollowed a lot of people and accounts yesterday on Instagram. Why? To focus. I can't keep going on Instagram and scrolling for hours, getting distracted because I follow a ton of people. So I just couldn't do it anymore. I was like, you know what? I have to, as hard as it is, I have to unfollow some people. So now I'm only following just over 100 people. And you have to realize this truth is that you aren't responsible for people's thoughts, feelings, or actions. So if it's to your benefit to unfollow a lot of people, if that means you're getting better focus every day, then by all means do it. And it depends on your goals. So if being a very social person, knowing a lot of people and networking makes you more money, or that's how you want to be known as, then have a bigger social circle. But usually having a smaller one is better. Having a little tribe that uplifts you, supports you, is much better than knowing a lot of people who don't really support your vision. They say the average person can know 150 people really well, and after 150 people, you don't really know the person. They become peers or acquaintances. This is a little fun fact that's had studies done on it. It's 150 people that the average person gets to know really well. Have friends who support you, uplift you, bring value, or make you laugh. So don't cut out the friends who are from childhood. If they still make you laugh and they aren't causing problems, and you're still really good buddies, just don't cut them off, because there's no need to do that. The only people you should be cutting out or distancing yourself from are toxic people or energy draining people from your life. And as hard as it is, it's a skill to tell the difference between people who may not be on the same level as you, but just keep them around, and people who aren't on the same level but are actually draining your energy and making you feel worse. So that's that. Make sure you have a good relationship with family. So I don't need to explain this. If you have a good relationship with your family, then things just go a lot smoother. You can't choose your family. You never were able to choose your family, so you just got to live with it, and you got to learn how to love them. Okay? You don't need a lot to be happy. You just have to be selective with your time, with your focus, with who you hang around with. So, yeah. And have a flow of knowledge in your life. So this is a really good tip I've been given by my mentor. You're gonna have a lot of knowledge stored up in here, and that knowledge needs to have a flow. It needs to be moving. So the way you do this is by having mentors, people on the same level as you, and mentees. The mentors are going to pass down information to you, wisdom. The people who are on the same level as you, so your friend group, your tribe, you share that information with them, and then the mentees are also sharing the information, and they learn from you as well. That's relationships. Just keep it very simple. Make sure it's good. Cut out the people who aren't serving you emotionally or whatever, and keep the people who are good around you. And you don't need a lot of friends, you just need a lot of high quality people in your life. Same thing goes for health. Successful entrepreneurs focus on their health. They make it a priority, but they also make it a priority to keep it simple AF. So 1 to 2 forms of exercise. That could be weightlifting and running. Eat the same meals every day. I eat the same sort of breakfast, lunch, and dinner almost every single day. Like I ate oats with protein powder in it, and a banana and peanut butter. Delicious, and I can eat that for weeks and months on end. I've been doing that for a while now. Same thing goes for lunch, same things go for dinner. And why do I do this? Because I'd rather sacrifice, variety over my mental state and just, you know, just not having to think what to cook and what to eat every day and how to cook this certain recipe every day. It's just not, I don't need that clutter. Know your macros and hit them. So if you're finding it very complicated to reach your health goals, your fitness goals, go on Google, look up a macros calculator and put in your weight, your age, and your height, and it'll tell you numbers form how many calories you need to be eating per day to hit your goals, as well as the amount of protein, carbs, and fats that you need to be eating. And, you know, just stick to that. That's all you need to do. Every day, just focus on hitting those macros and exercising, as well as these pillars, which I probably missed out one or two really important ones, but to me, diet, exercise, sleep, water, and sun are the pillars to good health. So focus on getting adequate amounts of these every single day. Keep the physical stress-free, and the mental will be also stress-free. It all follows in it. They all follow into each other. Make sure your health is stress-free, the cortisol is low, and then your mental will also be stress-free. Listen to your body and what works for you. Don't get distracted by the latest diet or routine. You know, keep things simple, as I said. Don't make it complicated. Don't, as soon as you get shiny object syndrome of the latest diet or the latest workout plan, don't go like bunny hopping onto that when what you've been working on has been proven. I hope that makes sense. Keep it simple and stick to it for a long time and see how it goes. Last thing, mindset. You know, focus helps with simplicity. They go hand in hand. If you're able to focus on one thing at a time, that keeps your life very simple. So master this trait of focus. Have one mission, you know, have one goal. Maybe it's to launch the biggest real estate company in the world. Maybe you're not an entrepreneur, but you just want to make it into the Premier League as a footballer. Have that one mission in mind and don't stop until you reach it. Keep your habits and routines very simple, and don't try to build too many habits at once, because that's gonna be too much for your brain to handle, and that's how you fall off. Don't overload your goals list. So similar thing, don't have too many goals. I know it's very tempting. I know it was tempting at the start of 2022 to set a bunch of goals. I bet you had a lot in mind, but be real with yourself. You're not gonna hit them all. And it's February now, so February in a couple of days, so I want to know like how your progress has been with these goals. Have a few set of principles you live by. Again, keeping things simple. What are the principles that you live by, that you embody, and that you expect from people every single day? Have non-negotiables that you refuse to ignore or achieve below at. So my non-negotiables is obviously in my 75 hard challenge that I'm doing right now. So it's like working out every single day, sending a certain amount of friend requests, posting a certain amount of content per day. Those are the non-negotiables that I absolutely refuse to go below. Okay, and you don't need a lot. Identify your biggest bottlenecks, insecurities. So tackle 1 to 3 of them and dedicate the next few months and weeks doing that. Okay, just again, don't overload yourself. Don't go too hard from the beginning. Just see what you're struggling with and then tackle them month by month. And then when you get rid of them, move on to the next sort of insecurities that you're trying to, and the biggest problems that you're trying to, you know, tackle. 80-20 rule. So I urge you to look this up. I can't go into it right now because I want to keep this very short, this video. But 80-20 rule states that there are 20% of actions that lead to 80% of results or outcomes. If you can identify in these 4, you know, areas of your life, what's the 20% of actions? What are the few actions that lead to the most success or makes me the happiest? So if you can identify them, that's where your time should be going. And that helps you keep things focused and very simple. Again, minimize or eliminate distractions. So video games, scrolling on TikTok, any drama in your personal life, any gossip, clubbing, if that's a distraction for you as well, you can, I'm not telling you you can't go clubbing here and there. Of course you can. But if you're doing it every week, then I really think it's gonna hinder your business in the long run. So either cut it out or just minimize it as much as you can. And that again goes back to keeping life simple. Adopt good habits that make that make your environment simple. Declutter your room, get rid of clothes you don't need anymore, give them to a charity or family members. Again, all about keeping things simple. And the last thing, subscribe to only a few YouTube channels, as I said earlier. Follow less people on even Spotify. Even if you want to go down that, if you want to really go hard on this simplicity trait, follow less people on Spotify or Apple Music. Follow less people on TikTok, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, social media, or cut out social media entirely if you don't need it to grow your business. And if you really can't for some reason, then at least mute these accounts, because on Instagram you can mute certain people's accounts so they don't pop up on your feed. Same with their stories. So I hope this helps. I hope this video shows that what you need to do is to just keep things simple, no brainer, and you don't need to add complexity, because simplicity scales, complexity fails. It all comes down to having less headache, which leads to less stress, which leads to better decision making. And better decision making means better everything. A bigger business, better relationships, better health, and a better mindset. And my last message to you is, if you don't want this for yourself, then that's your loss. So I hope you enjoyed this little video breakdown. I know you guys love when I do these, so at least the least you can do is like, comment, save, and share this with friends. So yeah, keep it simple.